You're watching Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. I am Tom Downey, and we are trying to get to 14,000 subscribers here on the fastest growing Steelers YouTube channel out there, giving you guys videos every single day. If you want more free Steelers YouTube videos, it's very simple. All you have to do is hit that big red button and subscribe right now. Let's get there and continue to grow this channel. Tom Downey here for Steelers Talk by Chat Sports, once again breaking down all of the latest around your favorite organization. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Some roster moves have been made by the Steelers. We'll talk about one UDFA who's being hyped as a potential roster maker this year, and some James Bradberry updates that I don't love all that much that we'll break down here on today's show. But first, DJ Reader, the Bengals nose guard, is now claiming the division goes through us, meaning the Cincinnati Bengals. One good year for the Bengals, one playoff win for the first time since like 1980 or 90, whatever it was, 1990, something along those lines. And now the Bengals think the division goes through them. Okay, this is a slur, but we'll have some fun with it. Type Bungles in the comment section to show DJ who really runs the AFC North. Because over the years, very clearly, it has been the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now let's break down these roster moves made late yesterday, I should say, by the Steelers. 3 players have been released. There's the other long snapper on the roster, Rex, and I might mispronounce the name. I think it's Sunahara. If it is, awesome. I got it right. If not, I'm very sorry on that one. So Christian Kuntz is going to be your guy there. Backup inside linebacker Tegray Scales, who was probably not going to make the roster anyway. He's been cut. They also did waive injured, so there's an injury designation there for Isaiah Johnson, the former 4th-round pick at the Houston Cougars. By the Texans draft him? No, the Raiders drafted him. And he's bounced around the NFL since then. Now, there will be more cuts coming for the Steelers organization. I can pretty much promise you on that one. Now, they might come closer to the start of the preseason or the end of the preseason, but they're not done yet. So I want you to make some predictions in the comment section for me. Name someone who you think ends up getting cut this year. I will make this one the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know who you think gets cut next. Let's talk about the potential undrafted free agent who could make this roster. That was hyped by Bleacher Report as Tyree Johnson, the edge rusher out of A&M. Remember, the Steelers have a couple former Aggies, Buddy Johnson at linebacker, DeMarvin Leal as a 5 technique player there. One player, each team that could make the roster. Johnson was Bleacher Report selection. He did produce pretty well last year. For Texas A&M, 8.5 sacks, I think was tied for the lead for the Aggies last year. 9 TFLs, 31 tackles. Now, you might be wondering, okay, SEC play, 9.5 tackles. Can he make the roster? Well, maybe. There is a bit of a numbers crunch here at edge rusher. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith aren't going anywhere. I like Derek Tuska. I like Jannard Avery, but I could see Johnson pushing for that if they carry 5 or even pushing out an Avery who could, maybe he plays some outside linebacker hybrid role for you. You go thinner at inside linebacker. You go with like Bush, Jack, Johnson, Spillane, and Avery's in there too. You try to get creative there. So yes, I could see a scenario in which Johnson does make the roster. Now, you might be wondering, okay, who else could make it? I would say keep an eye on Jaylen Warren, the running back out of Oklahoma State, who I think has a good chance of fighting his way onto the 53-man roster. Warren would have been my pick, but I do think Johnson has the talent to make it. In fact, I got my draft notes pulled up here, right? 6th-round grade for me, and I was a little bit surprised he went undrafted, but I'll just read directly from my notes. The good, big-time breakout year, over doubled his sack production. Pressure rate was not ideal, under 10%, not great there. Speed rusher, decentish power. He can bend a little bit. That is very tough to find out there. That's valuable, and that's why he was a draftable grade for me. He did tough out a foot injury in the second half of the 2021 season. He was not out there in run situations. He is what we call a DPR, a designated pass rusher only. He doesn't have great power, especially in his lower half. He does not stop the run, so he's a limited role player. He did not play much special teams at A&M, and I think the big reason why he went undrafted, he had a knee injury, or knee issue that was flagged at the combine that wasn't really known before that. Did not test as a result of it. That was a big red flag. My overall viewpoint here, Johnson is a T-Rex arm DPR with the lack of run stopping and power that could prevent him from making NFL rosters, but the burst and bend that he does bring is absolutely worth trying. So will Tyree Johnson make the final roster? I do think he at minimum is a practice squad guy for this organization in 2022. Sound off for me. Why for yes he does, and for no he does not. Now, if you want to bet on the Steelers to maybe win the AFC North, then stick it to DJ Reader. Do with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is Steelers125. $100 down. That's going to get you an extra $125 for free. It's a fantastic deal. DJ Reader says the division goes through the Bengals. AFC North odds say otherwise. The Browns are the betting favorite. Ravens and Bengals tied. Steelers plus 75 is shockingly low for a team that is consistently in the playoff mix. And I know Big Ben's gone and there's QB uncertainty in terms of who's going to start. That's really great value on the Pittsburgh Steelers. You bet 10, you win 75. That's kind of, I like that quite a bit. So if you want to throw some money down, maybe some of your deposit bonus on Pittsburgh, do it on BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is Steelers125. Time now for our James Bradberry conversation, and I don't like this one all that much. The Steelers appear to not be in the mix at all in adding James Bradberry, who has since been cut. Here's what longtime Steelers beat reporter Gary Dulac, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm actually not sure. I've only seen it written, to be honest. What he says on James Bradberry. Because you keep asking, no, the Steelers are not interested in signing former Giants corner James Bradberry. There's Jeremy in my ear going, womp, womp, womp. And that is how I feel about it, too, because I think he's a good player, and I would love to get another corner on this roster. So 5 other guys, some of the best available players. Chris Harris Jr., who has kind of begun to decline, I think, a little bit, but could help you on the inside or the outside from that standpoint. So many of you have asked about Kevin King. Sure, why not? Former early-ish pick. He was bad for the Packers last year, so I probably wouldn't sign him, but I mean, he could be your 3 or your 4, I guess. Kyle Fuller was also bad, but his good has been better than almost everybody on this list. Same with Xavier Rhodes. The age has begun to kind of impact him a little bit more than I think you'd like there. A.J. Bouye, also kind of a not ideal player anymore. I myself would probably rank them. Let's go Xavier Rhodes, Kyle Fuller, Chris Harris, Kevin King, A.J. Bouye. Maybe even Bouye over King. That's kind of how low I am on King. But he is the youngest of the group, so maybe a bounce back year could happen there in the end. So do the Steelers need to sign another corner? Get your votes in for me. S for sign, or you can type in P for pass. I say sign, but we're a show for the people. So let me know what you guys have to say in the comment section right now. If the Steelers do make a move, you know that we will break it down. Just like we broke down the Miles Boykin waiver claim and so much draft coverage here on Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. It's free. It always will be. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe at youtube.com/SteelersTV.